In this particular show, they did a singer's call first. And so everybody sang 32 bars of a song. If their voice was right for the show, we'd call them back. Sometimes you look at people's resumes. If they don't have any dance on there whatsoever, you might not bring them back. Usually we do, because if there's a chance that they move and they just haven't done a show. Old faces, new faces, lots of people, it's great. And I love that we're doing men and women separate today. We're gonna do a section of Buenos Aires. The things I'm looking for in this is an extremely dancey show.
Dance is #1 in this production of Evita, and at Callbacks, actors must prove to choreographer Kitty Skillman Hilsabeck that they'll be able to cut it on the dance floor.
Everybody knows the song Buenos Aires? Okay, so it kind of jumps in on the intro, but it comes in on like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're gonna step 1, and even as you step, dig it into the ground here, flick.
Hilsabeck spends a couple of hours teaching a routine, first to the women dancers, then to the men, before each group actually has to perform it as an audition.
Some of these guys were just singers, and they got a little panicked when they knew they had to come into a dance call. It's required. It's a dance show. You know, you can't be surprised that you're called in for a dance call. But don't put that block in your mind like, I'm not a dancer, I can't move. This type of movement, if really you're on the dance floor and you go out dancing and you do it, you just think of it as that. That's all it is. They don't have to get all the steps right. They have to get the passion right. They have to get the feel of the piece, and maybe a couple steps here and there. But if they don't get every step correct, I don't hold that against them. I just want to see that they can work hard, that they don't give up, that they don't have that block of, well, I'm a singer, because they're going to have to be up there dancing.
So Hilsabeck allows for a lot of flexibility in steps and skills, but within reason.
If you're a single pirouette person, do a single. If you don't want to do a pirouette, you just step across and turn yourself. Do what makes you look best. It's not about how many turns you do. It's about what you're going to look the best at. It's in plie. Specifically plie. I don't want to see anybody releve. I don't want to see anybody straight leg. I want plie, plie, out. I always have to audition pretty much with my hardest stuff so that I know the dancers that I have that can do that in the show, and then the other people might not do as much. So they're coming and doing the hardest stuff, which is a little threatening to non-movers.
But it's more than just learning the steps, says Hilsabeck.
What I'm looking for is people that can incorporate the acting within the dancing and that passion. That's why I kept talking about in the audition, these are the streets of Buenos Aires, and it's the first time Evita's come to it, that she's got to see the passion of that city, and that's why she wants to be there. And if I see them just dancing the steps and not being able to grasp that, it's hard to know if I'm going to get that later. So I have to see them digging in, and they're all of an age or can relate to something with that, needing that passion. Chasse, 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 chasse. Focus up. 1. And down. 6, 7, 8. Scoop it. It's a real mix of both the South American feel, the folk tango, also very modern. I always do a modern approach to it, but there's a little jazz in it too, so it's really a mix, but you definitely have to grasp the culture there. You definitely have to grasp the, the hip movements and the kind of that salsa feel, and then also I want the slow and the passion of the tango. There's going to be a lot of that within numbers.
The story of Evita unfolds in Argentina about 1950, and it will be creative producer Rod Lansberry's vision that sets the scenes.
It's almost more the idea of it being set in Buenos Aires than it is in the time period. Buenos Aires in that time period was very European. It was very much trying to express itself as a strong, artistic, forward-thinking community. The whole show is a tough one to cast.
3 and a 4 and a 5. Eva is probably the top dancer. She has a whole section with the men that she's going to be dancing, and it's not always done that way because it's such a hard vocal show for Evita that it's pretty much lays back on the dancing for her so that she can vocally do it. And especially at this altitude, it's going to be a demanding role. Okay, let me watch.
If they're still breathing after the dance audition, that's always a good sign.
7, 8, and
the entire cast has to be very strong.
And 5 and 6, 7, 8. There's 4 principals in this cast. It's the Evita, the Magali, the Che, and the Juan Perón. The only person that's not going to dance this hard is Juan Perón. He'll have to be smooth and do some tango movement, but everybody else is from the common people, so they have to be able to do that earthy, kind of gritty, I call it, dancing. Think of it more as got a little more strike to it, a little more masculinity to it. That's the problem with this type of dance. If you have any effeminate style in your dance, this can bring it out. Get rid of it. We need to see real masculine, earthy, very sensual movement. I think the cast is going to be about 25, 24, so all those people except one will be dancing.
The ensemble will play a critical role in this musical, where the dialogue is entirely sung.
2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8.
It's an intense workout where auditioners find camaraderie, but even with words of support, the moment comes when it's no longer a lesson, but an audition.
Chasse, chasse, chasse. Ah, ah, ah. 1, 2, pas de bourrée, pas de bourrée, pas de bourrée. Slow it down. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5, focus up. Good, nice.
Once the cast is in place, Kitty will be obviously working on choreographing a lot of the numbers, and Kitty and I will be working closely on how to stage a lot of that, to create the scenes. As I said, since there are no dialogue, there's no book scenes, it is all done with the dance and the singing.
There are huge numbers and staged numbers.
Sometimes it's just patterning of people to make it interesting, and it kind of feels like dance, so you're not just standing there singing.
And when rehearsals begin on March 31st, those who make it into the cast will have only 2 weeks of rehearsals to nail their numbers before opening night. And with the close of the dance audition, they know how demanding the roles will be.
Thank you guys, that's a ton of work, and I appreciate all the attention and everything. It was great.
What a workout, huh? Casting auditions are also being held in New York. Evita opens on April 21st and runs through May 17th. For tickets, check the center's website at arvadacenter.org.